The gods whisper to the warrior, "You will not withstand the fury." The warrior whispers back, "I am the fury." Let's talk about polite society. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watch Your Pass. Today I'm here to talk to you about Polite Society, which is coming to theaters on April 28, 2023. It is a new action dark comedy that is so much fun. It is such a weird mashup of different genres, and my hot take is, look, I think you should watch it. It is just a fun journey from start to finish. It's a genre-mashing dark comedy with a crazy plot, over-the-top moments, and an entertaining journey. I really liked it. I didn't really know what to expect. It's kind of tough to explain, but it's just a really fun film. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the movie, a few things I liked, a few things I didn't like, and briefly go into the ending. As you can imagine, there will be spoilers in the ending section. If you don't want to know what happens in the end, I would turn it off when I get to there. But before that, I'll keep it vague. I will just give you my thoughts. You can keep watching without worrying about spoilers, and I'll let you know when I get to those spoilers. So in Polite Society, you have two sisters. You've got Ria, the younger sister, and Lena, the older sister. Lena went to art school. She wanted to be an artist, but she dropped out recently and has moved back home. Ria is trained to be a stunt performer. She's into martial arts. She's into action. She has a YouTube channel. She's an over-the-top character, and she is driven, and she is determined, and she is aggressive. But that is all put to the test when there is a change in their relationship that kind of threatens to drive a wedge between them and also push them apart for a very long time. So things I liked about this film. But first, I kind of mentioned a couple times, I love the genre mashing of this. You've got dark comedy, you've got martial arts action, you've got horror elements, you've got like a young adult-ish kind of thing with their high school that they're in. It's a little bit, it has a little bit of a Hindi aspect too, a little bit of a Bollywood dance sequence. It is all these different types of films mashed together into something that is just so unique and so fun. It switches fairly seamlessly. It has a lot of horror elements, which I really didn't anticipate, but I liked a lot. Like kind of a Stepford Wives kind of horror, like a Get Out kind of horror, not like overt, but definitely some sinister aspects. And overall, I just really enjoyed it. The second thing I loved is the music, and this kind of fits with the genre mashing. There's a whole variety of music in this film. You've got like some jazz, you've got some pop, you've got the like martial arts music, you've got all sorts of different types of music. I think you have some hip hop too. So it really does a great job of melding all these and weaving them into the film to make them kind of fit perfectly. And it really helps to enhance the mood as the film is kind of moving through different genres and moving through the plot. The music really helps you move along the way. The third thing I loved is the humor. It's just kind of a dark, funny humor that really makes it an enjoyable film. We really have a lot of laugh out loud moments. There's some like cringe moments that are funny as well, but overall I was smiling a lot during this film and laughing out loud in a lot of the sequences. And the fourth thing I loved is the ridiculousness. I will get into that kind of when I get into the ending, just how crazy this film is, but there are just some very over the top moments, some very kind of ridiculous situations and ridiculous scenarios that will make you smile, might make you cringe, but overall this film feels over the top through and through. And the last thing I loved is there are several fight sequences. As Ria is a young martial artist, she is training to be a stunt performer. There are some fight sequences that are pretty well done. They're really enjoyable. They kind of have some martial arts slow motion. They've got some good choreography, and overall they are one of the kind of aspects of this film that I really liked. So things I didn't love as much, the first and kind of only one is Ria's character. So I mean, I liked her as a protagonist, but her character is very aggressive throughout, and in the middle she gets kind of insufferable, and that is part of the overall story. That is part of like how this film progresses. I just did not like her character in the middle part. Now, it's a necessary part of the overall progression, but it was like painful at some points in the middle of the movie. So speaking of that part and speaking of the ending and the kind of the story of this film, I'm gonna go into the ending right now, but just know that Polite Society is coming to theaters on April 28, 2023. It is a fun film. It is a very unique film, and it's definitely one that is tough to describe. So check it out when it comes to theaters on April 28, 2023. I'm going to go into the ending, so if you don't want to know what happened in this film, I would turn it off now. So, like I said, Ria and Lena are close sisters. They do a lot together. Lena is kind of encouraging Ria in her stunt performer pursuit, in her martial arts videos. She's helping her out, and Ria is really, really encouraging Lena to become an artist. Now, that all changes when they go to this party that their mother invites them to, where there's a young bachelor named Salim who takes an interest in Lena, and that leads to Lena and Salim dating. And wouldn't you know it, after a few dates, after about a month of dating, they get engaged. Salim is looking for a wife, and I think Lena is looking for just a change, something that will make her feel happy. And so They get engaged, but Ria is hesitant about this. She is very against this the entire time. She thinks that Salim is bad for Lena. She's very worried that Lena is not going to pursue her art. She's going to like give up on her dream of being an artist and just kind of like settle in and not pursue her own dreams, just kind of like fall in line with Salim. So Ria is against this the entire time and goes to some extremes to stop this wedding. She tries to like talk Lena out of it. She tries to dig up some dirt on Salim. She at one point tries to frame Salim, and each time Salim and his mother are very nice and understanding to Ria, even though she's doing sometimes some terrible things. They are upset, but they are like very kind of patient with her. And this campaign even leads Ria's two best friends to abandon her. They were helping her throughout this because they thought that Salim was actually going to be bad for Lena, but they also kind of fall into his charm and think that Ria is going a little bit too far in this. So they abandon her as well. Ria eventually goes a little bit too far. She breaks into the house. She kind of finds this box, this secret box that has some pictures of like another wife. She confronts Salim with that. She also, in this moment, like plants condoms around his room to try to like sabotage the relationship. None of this works. It backfires on Ria. Salim sees the picture and like breaks down crying. This actually was his first wife who died in childbirth. And so he like Salim is a doctor and he's dedicated his life to like preventing this from happening, to understanding women's symptoms for a heart attack. And so this kind of completely backfires on Ria. She is like her sister is mad at her. She looks ridiculous, and you think maybe she'll give it up, but nope, she doesn't. Her character does not. Eventually, she goes over to apologize to Salim's mother for kind of like breaking into her house, doing all this stuff, and then also kind of ruining that night. And Salim's mother is angry at first, but then it's like, oh no, like come on in, we're gonna have a spa day. But during the spa day, she becomes aggressive and like pseudo tortures Ria. She doesn't actually, but she like waxes Ria's legs and uses like she has 3 spa people who end up becoming like henchmen in this, hold her down, and then they wax Ria's legs while the mother kind of like basically says like, you're not going to stop this wedding, like stop trying. Ria escapes this and runs into the basement of the house where she finds some sort of like weird lab. And in this lab, there's a bunch of different drinks from the party that Salim and Lena met at. And it's various drinks from the various women that were in the house. And you can see some have like lipstick on them. Some were like, they're all used drinks. And she also discovers this like database that has information on the various women that were there. And she finds that Lena's profile, it's all focused on like the uterus, and Lena's is like gold standard, I guess. Like hers is clearly above and beyond the best of all the women that were there. And that makes Ria concerned. He thinks that this lab is like for experimentation on Lena, and that he's like going to use her for her uterus somehow. So now Ria has to come up with another plot while the wedding is barreling forward. She apologizes to her friends. She convinces them to come back in the fold, and they come up with this plot to save Lena from this wedding. Unfortunately for them, Lena doesn't want this to happen, but they go through it anyways. Ria choreographs this special dance, this fun dance that she performs at the wedding to distract everyone, while her 2 other friends dress up as servers at the wedding and sneak up to the room to give Lena tea. Now, while she's doing this dance, it looks like a traditional type of Pakistani wedding dance, but then she puts in these fun little like moves in there to pseudo threaten Salim. Like Salim is there, and she will like, while she's dancing, she'll like do things like this to him, like movements that look like they're part of the dance, but also have a sinister overtone, which I really liked. I thought it was a clever little hint there. But while she's doing this, she's distracting everyone. Her friends go up to the room bringing tea for the bride. And when they're there, the bride recognizes Ria's 2 friends and it's like, what are you doing here? And then they apologize, and then they chloroform her. They stuff her into the tea tray, like tea serving cart, sneak back out, and proceed to try to like get her out of this wedding to save her. Now, Salim's mother sees through this kind of distraction, runs back up, finds that the bride is gone, and then essentially like tells people to like go search for them, go find them. She sends everyone away except for Ria, and so they have a fight. The mother is very good. Is a very good fighter apparently. It's like Neo versus Agent Smith after he sees the Matrix. Like she is countering everything that Ria's throwing at her. During the fight between the mother and Ria, Ria kind of confronts the mother and says like, you just want Lena for her uterus, you just want her for like her genes and not for who she is. And the mother's like, we don't want Lena for her genes. There's nothing in those genes except mediocrity. She just needs Lena for the uterus. And then during the fight, the mother explains like that she is going to essentially clone herself, put her in Lena so that Lena can carry this clone, and then the mother will be kind of like reborn as this new baby and now be able to kind of like fulfill her full potential. She sacrificed so much to get to where she is and also to raise her son. And so now if there's a clone of her, that baby will then be able to like live its life and realize the mother's full potential. And eventually, like after she beats her up, she starts kind of like strangling her with this like, decorative dress piece that she turns into a cord and like starts strangling Ria. Her friends who are coordinating this hear all the commotion going on, hear the danger to their friend. So they eventually come back up with Lena. And Ria is angry about this, but her friends didn't want her to get hurt anymore. So now the mother wins. The mother has Lena, carts her off, gets her ready to get married, and the friends and Ria are all locked in this room. So Ria is upset because now this wedding is going to happen, and she's worried that her sister is going to be swept away to Singapore and then experimented on because of this like strange lab with this focus on impregnation and the uterus that she saw. So now all the friends are in this room. Luckily for them, there is one more person, an old enemy, a bully at their school that they recruited to help them in this one plot. She gets concerned because it sounds like they are having trouble, and so she eventually rescues them. She beats up the guard, opens the door from the outside, sets them all free, and they all go down to stop the wedding. Now, Ria does this in a fairly extreme way. She grabs the gun from the guard, goes down to the wedding, and like shoots in the air to stop the wedding, and then confronts the mother and the son about their plan to impregnate Lena with a clone of the mother. Like I said, this movie gets ridiculous, but it's kind of fun. Like it leans into that ridiculousness all the way through. Now, as you can imagine, with this accusation, everyone laughs in this wedding because it's a crazy situation. But what Ria says triggers some memories in Lena, and she remembers some things that she thought were dreams. She thought she dreamed that Salim was like experimenting on her in some sort of lab. She was in some sort of lab setup. She thought that this was all just a weird dream, but when Ria starts talking about this, Lena starts to remember this kind of stuff. And so that makes her believe her sister. And so she says, no, she's not going to do this. Salim tries to justify all of this by saying like he was just testing her like fertility, her uterus, and her uterus is super, super strong. And this is when the mother interjects, grabs the gun and holds the couple up and tells Lena to sign the like marriage certificate so that they'd be fully married. Not really a great way to force someone to get married, but I guess the mother kind of like wants to just get this done. So while she's holding up the couple, Lena and Ria's mom grabs a chair and just like breaks it over the mother's back, WWE style, knocks the mother out and tells her daughters to run. So the daughters run, and now we get into this like horror-ish super fight. It's kind of like horror and action because as they're running, the wedding guests all kind of like run to stop them. But now it also becomes actiony because now Lena and Ria are fighting off the wedding guests. There's this fun like super fight between Lena, Ria, and a couple of the other female guests at the party. The mother and father fight some guests as well. Ria's friends jump in and start fighting. It becomes kind of an all-out brawl as they're running away, trying to get out of this place. Eventually, because of her friend's distraction, they're able to escape the venue and get to the car to try to leave. When they get there, the mother's there. The mom, again, in similar fashion to the last fight, beats up Ria while Salim grabs Lena. The mom like is on top, strangling Ria, the mom, like strangles her until she stops moving. You think that she's dead, and she says that, you're unremarkable. Gets up, goes back to her son, getting ready to like take Lena away to go off to Singapore and do this operation. But Ria gets up, and in like this line that she kind of uses throughout her videos, and I kind of use it at the start of this video, she tells the mom, she like yells to the mom, "I am the Fury," and then does this like spinning leg kick that she's been trying all movie to get right. It hasn't worked until now. She does this spinning leg kick, kicks the mom in the face, knocks the mom out. Lena fights off Salim and just kicks him many, many times for all the terrible experiments he did to her when she was asleep. And then they jump in the car and drive off. And they drive off as the police are approaching this whole scenario, because I assume the police were called because Ria shot like 5 shots into the ceiling. I don't think it'll be good for her, but you know what? They're escaping. Maybe they'll be fine. So they go, they get something to eat, then they go hang out together. They record the kick that Ria had been trying for so long, finally got on the mother, and so they record that kick. But while they were doing this video for Ria's YouTube channel, they're back to like their old selves. They're kind of joking with each other. They're very close. It seems like everything is back to normal. Ria gets a text from this stunt person that she idolized, that she's been writing the entire time. That stunt person says, "Sorry for not getting back to you. I've been busy shooting a Marvel," assume it's a Marvel movie, but she checked out her stuff. She thought that she could be really, really great, and invited Ria to come visit her next week for brunch so that she could check out her studio and like get to know her. So everything is coming up Ria after this like crazy experience, this over the top plot that she came up with. Seems like everything's fine. She saved her sister. She is going to, meet her idol. She's going to pursue her stunt person career. And it seems like maybe her sister will get back into art after she processes everything she went through. Maybe she'll get back into art. So all is well that ends well. That is Polite Society. Like I said, it's coming to theaters on April 28, 2023. Definitely check it out. It's a fun film. It is fairly unique, and it's definitely something that's going to stick with you after the movie. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.